Hi guys, Ativ here, and in this video I'll be talking about the Chiefs' schedule. This will be my first team in the AFC and first team in the AFC West. Hope you guys are having a great day, and without further ado, let's hop right into it. So this is their schedule, and yeah, let's go right to their first game. So their game 1 is the first game of the NFL season, which I believe is in 4 days and is this upcoming Thursday. And they were playing versus the Texans, but honestly, this is basically just the Chiefs versus Deshaun Watson and Brandon Cooks. Like, let's be honest here. Everyone knows their trade and how bad it was. So I have the Chiefs winning this one. And for number 2, the Chiefs are playing their rivals, the Chargers. The Chargers lost Derwin James, but like they still have Desmond King and Joey Bosa, who are 2 studs. And I mean, the Chargers are really stacked if you look at their roster. I mean, like, on their offense, they have Austin Eckler, who everyone is hyping up, and I do feel like he will have a great season. And then they have Keenan Allen, who just got a huge 4-year, $80 million contract, and he's had over 1,100 yards, I think, twice in a row now, maybe even more. Then they have Mike Williams, who I believe had over 1,001 yards last season, and no one talks about him. So yeah, and then they have Hunter Henry, who's a pretty good tight end. And I mean, despite all of this, I feel like the Chargers always underachieve, just like the Cowboys. No offense, Chargers fans, but I will have to go with the Chiefs taking the W here. I mean, cause like they have Tyreek Hill, Demarcus Robinson, Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Patrick Mahomes. You get the point. It's the Chiefs. But then in game 3, we have the Chiefs at Ravens, and I'm honestly going with the Ravens winning this one and the Chiefs losing. Now, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs won, right? But I feel like the Ravens, their defense is too stacked, and you know that your defense is good when, like, people can believe that you can stop the Chiefs. I mean, like, I feel like there are only a couple of teams that can do that, like the Ravens and the Niners, and then by players, if they actually played to their potential, then the Cowboys, obviously, and the Chargers, obviously, but they don't play to their potential ever. So I have the Ravens winning this one. In game 4, we have the Patriots at Chiefs, another great defense playing against the Chiefs. But I have the Chiefs winning this one. I mean, this is at the Chiefs' home field. It's a 1:25 game Pacific time. The Chiefs have everything going for them in this game. And, I mean, I doubt Patrick Mahomes is going to get injured this season. It's like he's Patrick Mahomes, and maybe Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be a breakout rookie this season. I'm not sure, but yeah. In game 5, we have the Raiders at Chiefs, and I have the Chiefs winning this. Another rivalry, but the Chiefs rivalries, I mean, like, they don't have super hard rivalries because they're the Chiefs. Like, I feel like everyone knows that the Chiefs are going to win the AFC West. I mean, they're an overpowered team. They somehow signed Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes on huge contracts. They're gonna give Tyreek Hill his money if they haven't already, and they do a lot of magic. But in game 6, we have the Chiefs at Bills, and I honestly have the Bills winning this. Cause the Chiefs, bro, it's not that the Chiefs are bad at all, it's that the Bills are so good. I mean, when you have a team with Josh Allen, who has unlimited potential, Devin Singletary, who is a steal in the 2019 draft, then you have Cole Beasley, John Brown, and Stephon Diggs. That is solid. Like, the meaning of solid. Cole Beasley is pretty above average. Like, he's solid. John Brown had over 1,000 yards last season, and of course Stephon Diggs did as well. So, like, those are 3 amazing receivers. And then you have arguably the best secondary in the league with Josh Norman, who my friend always tells me this, that Sean McDermott worked with him when he was on the Panthers. Then you have Jordan Poyer, he's not very good, but then you have Tre'Davious White, who in my opinion is the second best cornerback in the game, and you have Micah Hyde, who is a great safety. So, like, that's the lockdown secondary, and the Bills have a great coach in Sean McDermott, so I feel like the Bills could have an insane season this season. But moving on to game 7, we have the Chiefs at Broncos, another rivalry game for the Chiefs, but I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs here. I mean, Drew Lock could become the next face of the NFL. Well, actually, Patrick Mahomes is that currently, but like Drew Lock could be a top 5 quarterback in the league, maybe not top 5, maybe top 7. And y'all just got Melvin Gordon, but I mean, did you really need him? You had Phillip Lindsay. What was the point of getting Melvin Gordon? It made 0 sense. It was a terrible signing. Like, Melvin Gordon, bro, what was he trying to think? Y'all have Phillip Lindsay, who I feel like is fast. Maybe not faster. Melvin Gordon's super fast, but he had a better season than Melvin Gordon last season, and they're 2 great running backs, but you have Courtland Sutton, who is a great receiver. So did you really need Melvin Gordon? No, not at all. And it was a dumb idea from the Broncos, but y'all have Bradley Chubb and Von Miller on your defense, who are 2 insane players. And Bradley Chubb was on pace for breaking the rookie sack record, so he's a great player. And Von Miller is Von Miller. But I have the Chiefs winning this. In Game 8, we have the Jets at Chiefs. I have the Chiefs winning this. I mean, I think anyone can. I'd be very surprised if anyone had the Jets winning. Like, Sam Darnold, man's got mono at 24. Like, what's happening to this guy? And then you had Le'Veon Bell, who didn't even get 800 yards rushing last season. But, I mean, y'all just lost Robbie Anderson and Jamal Adams. I'm not sure what Bradley McDougall's gonna do for you. Such a stud. But, I mean, I'd be so proud of you if you had the Jets winning, but nah. In Game 9, we have the Panthers at Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning. I mean, we did just talk about the Jets, and they gave Robbie Anderson to the Panthers, and the Panthers are basically Christian McCaffrey. Although Teddy Bridgewater might have an insane season, and I wouldn't be surprised, because he got a huge contract, like $63 million, I think, for 3 years. So, that's a huge contract right there, and you did lose Greg Olsen, but, I mean, whoever your backup is in Madden, I'm forgetting his name, but that guy's a GOAT, so. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, Panthers might not be a top 4 terrible team this season. They got a pretty good quarterback, Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel. Okay, sure, Curtis Samuel's just speed, but like DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson are pretty solid. Although I do think DJ Moore is the better one out of those 2. You have a solid team with the Panthers. It's nothing extravagant, but like you can make do with it. In Game 10, we have the Chiefs at Raiders. I have the Chiefs winning this. It's a night game, but like Las Vegas night, man. Imagine how that's gonna be, all the night games for the Raiders. But watch the Raiders like go in with all the confidence they have in the world and just get smacked by the Chiefs. I really don't like both of these teams because I'm a Niners fan, as you all know. Raiders and San Francisco Niners don't like each other, and well, the Chiefs did something to the Niners, so yeah, but I still have the Chiefs winning because, I mean, the Raiders have Josh Jacobs and Derek Carr and not Amari Cooper. I'm still living. Oh man, I miss when Amari Cooper was on the Raiders, but you have Josh Jacobs and Derek Carr, who are great players, so yeah. In Game 11, we have the Chiefs at Buccaneers. I have the Chiefs winning this. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this one, honestly. Like, these are 2 powerhouses going at it, especially at the Buccaneers' home. So I feel like the Buccaneers have a lot of things going for them in this game, but I still have the Chiefs winning because of how good they are. But honestly, I could see the Bucs winning. In Game 12, you have the Broncos at Chiefs. Final rivalry matchup for this series. I have the Chiefs winning, sweeping the Broncos. But honestly, I would not be surprised if the Broncos won Game 1. Like, it could happen. I would not be surprised at all. Because the Broncos don't have a bad defense by any means. Then you have Drew Lock, who is a special talent. And John Elway said that he's a franchise quarterback. So, yeah, John Elway's, such a great person to hire for your team. Greatest person ever, But the Broncos have a solid team, just not as good as the Chiefs, obviously. And the Chiefs are extending Andy Reid, so yeah. In Game 13, we have the Chiefs at Dolphins. Chiefs finna smack the Dolphins out of the water, bro. Like, what do the Dolphins think they're doing? Man, oh man, I kind of feel bad for the Dolphins here. Brian Flores is a great coach, but like, get away from the water. In game 14, we have the Chiefs at Saints. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if what I'm saying doesn't happen, but I have the Chiefs winning this. I do see the Chiefs losing though. Like this is gonna be a really good game to watch. I feel like just like the Niners and Saints was. I feel like that game could go like this game. The Saints are another one of the only teams that will be able to stop the Chiefs. So yeah. In game 15, we have the Falcons at Chiefs. Chiefs are gonna win this one. I feel like. I do. Is there really that much explanation needed? I mean, like Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Todd Gurley, and Alex Mack, and Calvin Ridley. I mean, like, say what you want about them, but Julio Jones is really the only reliable one there. I mean, who knows what to do with Todd Gurley from his injury, but I do think that Calvin Ridley could become Chris Godwin 2.0, and here's why. So, Chris Godwin, right, he was overshadowed by Mike Evans, but he had 2 solid seasons, right, like 500 and 800 yards, I believe, and Calvin Ridley's gone 2 800-yard seasons, and Calvin Ridley's a speed receiver, Chris Godwin's a strength receiver, but Mike Evans was overshadowing Chris Godwin, and Julio Jones was overshadowing Calvin Ridley, right? So what I feel like is going to happen is Julio still has an insane season, right? Like an average season from Julio standards. And then Calvin Ridley goes on to get 1,250 yards or something like that, and he has an insane season. And now people are putting it up for a debate whether he's a top 10 receiver or not. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen because it's a weird theory. In game 16, we have the Chargers at Chiefs. I have the Chiefs ending it off on a good note at their home with the win. But yeah, I have the Chiefs going 14-2. This was a really long video because I talked way too much in between, but thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!